Now today, I will be showing you how I use my productivity funnel to create to-do lists for my daily jobs that stay on target with my goals. Because it's so easy as a business owner and an entrepreneur to get scattered in so many different directions. And sometimes we go for those bright, shiny objects. And it really distracts us from the goals that we're absolutely determined to reach at the end of the year. Along the way, it can get very overwhelming. So I use the productivity funnel. Now, I've been teaching productivity and organizing for over 12 years now. I know really well how staying focused on your goals and making it a little bit easier to weed out the other excess can help people get much more done in their lives, feel more successful, and just be happier overall. This is one of my techniques. So the productivity funnel, the goal of the funnel is to make sure that your most important goals are always top of mind and being planned first. Now, all the other stuff will still filter onto the list. It's just going to be given its proper place. We want to be proactive, not reactive in our to-do lists each day. At least, that's the goal. So, the way this works, I start off by planning my year, month by month. I've already decided my goals. I've decided to get some SMART goals set up for the year, just a few, because I don't want to overwhelm myself and I want to actually reach the goals. But once I have my goals set, for example, this year, it was to produce my productivity course for ADHD. And I would then take it month by month and figure out what my biggest goal is for that month. That does not mean it's the only thing I'm going to work on. But for example, for January, I might be working on my productivity course that I mentioned. Then in February, because I'm pretty sure my course would not be finished in just 1 month, it might be a different aspect of my course, or there might be a different part of my business I need to focus on. Since I also do home organizing and I lead a team, sometimes I need to go back and forth between these two topics, and this was actually one of the months that I had to do that. So, for February, I may have focused on team building, because that way, anything that has to do with nurturing my team, helping them be more successful, train them even more, whatever it is, can go in February. While in January, my main focus will be that productivity course. Once you've done this for each of the 12 months, then you can break down that month. So for January, like I mentioned, the productivity course, if that was my main goal for January, then I want to break it down week by week for that month. So week 1 of January, what I would probably want to do if I was starting from scratch is I'd want to outline this course. Week 2, I might be focused on testing to see if there's an audience interest, what the return on investment would be, and where the price point would need to be. Now that I've got my outline, I've got more information. So I'd probably be doing all that ROI and analysis. Week 3, I'd probably do something along the lines of starting to build that list, starting to get the word out there. I call it dripping. I drip on people to let them know it's coming. And then week 4, I might focus on the actual writing process would begin. Now, each of these weeks, that's not the only thing that I will be able to work on. I know this because I have a large business that has a lot of needs. I have a lot of clients. But each week, I have one main focus for that week that goes back to the goal. So by the end of the year, I wanted to be able to have this course up, running, and be really happy with the outcome and provide value. So within January, these were my each week main focuses. So when I sit down to do my daily list, I will be looking at this. I want to know what the main goal is and which tasks I've already decided I need to do that week in order to make my goal by the deadline that I'd set myself. So if my deadline was December, then I know each month I have to do a certain chunk, and each week I have to chunk that out further. So for example, I would take then, if I sat down and did my Monday list, which some people can do this a week ahead of time. I try to. I usually do kind of a rough outline for a week ahead of time. planning out that whole week so that I know where my clients fit in and how it's all going to shake out. But things always adjust. So then I'm a morning person. In the morning, I also review that list and do any adjusting that I need. But for week 1, I have outline written. So if this is the Monday of week 1, I'm going to make sure that of my 3 goals that I have for that day, the 3 priorities I will work on, one of those at least, hopefully 2 to 3, but sometimes life happens, but at least one of those will be working on completing that outline, because I've got 1 week to complete this step now. And there's only 7 days in a week, and I know that I like to take a couple of those for myself. So on Monday, I might work on chapters 1 through 5 outline. Then I might have something like a client that day. Maybe I'm doing some productivity coaching. So I would know I'm not really available to work on the outline for my second main goal for the day. And then possibly the third goal for the day could be after my break, take another stab at the outline. And I might do chapters 6 and 7. And I need to be realistic. I only have so much time. It's easy for my brain to think that I've got a lot more than I do, but realistically, I can get 2 to 3 of these things done in a day. And the smaller I make them, the better I am at actually completing them and feeling confident about myself and successful in my list, which then makes me work a lot better. It makes me more efficient. I'm happier. I'm feeling like what I'm doing is working. So I'm more likely to get even more done than is on my list. Now, you might look at this and go, yeah, but where are your emails? Where are all of those other things that have to be done during the day? What about the fires that come up? Well, if you only have 2 to 3 main priorities listed in that day, it's easy to fit in all of those other little minutia to-dos that come up. The noticing that your Facebook header might need to be changed. That might be one of those little things. Your to-do list is probably 10,000 items long. You can just pick the top priorities that can fit in between. So just like on a beach, if there's large rocks, then the sand can still filter in between. All those little tasks can filter in between these big rocks, but these are the ones that are going to get you to your goal. And yes, Shannon, I know firefighting is a constant thing. It's just part of business. So if we plan time for it and make sure that our goals get first priority and the rest can filter in between, then we're gonna still make it to the important stuff by the end of the year. So this is just a really quick rundown of how I use my productivity funnel to make sure that those goals get completed when I say that they will, that all of my days have at least something in them that's working towards a goal. And like I said, in between here, there might be some emails. I might have some phone calls in between here. There's probably a bit of computer work that happens. Also, sometimes I will take breaks and just change tasks. So when I switch between chapters 1 through 5 outline, I might work for 30 minutes and then take a 15-minute break to go check email. And then set the timer so I make sure to come back so that these get completed that day. So I hope that this helped you out. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Holly. As I mentioned before, I am Suzanna Kaye. If you like this, please give me some love with the likes and comments below. Comment to let me know how you plan your day. Do you use an app? Do you use paper? What are you using right now to make your day even more productive, and how does that work for you? So in the comments below, just write what the app is or whether you use a notebook and give me some likes, because I always love some love. It's so good to see you all today. If you would like more about goal setting, I have my SMART Goals worksheet. It's a really easy, quick worksheet that helps you outline those goals. If you'd like that, I will post a link afterwards in the comments and in the show notes below. So hop on over, get the free download for my SMART Goals worksheet. Walks you step by step, making sure that these goals are attainable and how you're going to break those out. I am so glad that you all joined me today. It's wonderful to see you. And hi, Mary. Good that you stopped by. I will see you all next week right here, and I love you. Bye.